lot of people don't know is, we fundraise like crazy. Well, with this COVID season, we were really kind of, our hands tied behind our back a little bit, and our support staff said, what do you need? We'll make it happen. At times, we had to take 3 charter buses. Now, charter buses usually hold 57 people. We had 14 people on a charter bus because of how we had the space. So just think about that in terms of, quadrupling what we normally would have to pay for charter bus. Community members, one thing I'll never forget is what that field looked like that semifinal morning. And I remember showing up, and I think there were 4 people working on it. I got there early. Coach Conrad coached something. Next thing you know, our boys got to walk in for team breakfast with about 30 to 40 people trying to give our kids the best experience they could have to host a semifinal game. It will probably never happen again. I know it will never happen in January again, okay? But for our kids to see that support, you have no idea what that does for inspiration, for our kids seeing that, walking by that, leaf blowers and snow blowers and shoveling. It was just incredible. Of all ages, okay, of all ages. There were kids out there this tall, trying to help out. It was just amazing. My coach's wives, if you're a coach's wife, please stand up. I know Dave's wife up there. Stand up. Okay? Best people in the world, I'm telling you, are coaches' wives for what they, one, have to put up with us. And then 2, obviously, the time commitment it takes to have a program like our boys have. And we couldn't do it without our coaches' wives. Our coaches, please stand up. Every single one of you, stand up, please. Without question, without doubt, the best coaching staff in the state of Michigan. There is nobody better than these guys that you see in front of you. Nobody. Parents, okay, we ask a lot of your young people. It takes a lot to be good, all right? So we ask a lot, and you guys just say, what do you need? What do you need? So all you football parents, which is the majority of you, stand up, please. Every single one of you, stand up. You guys stand up and give them a huge round of applause. And then lastly, our players. I talked about how much we ask them. I tried to chart down, and Drosky did a great job in that video of kind of explaining how the roller coaster this season was. August 14th, let me back that up. I don't think we have any Division I players on the football team yet, okay? Not yet. So how do these guys win so many football games? It's because of their work ethic. Their off-season work ethic is unmatched. On March 13th, what was the date?
Yes, March 13th.
March 13th, these kids can't go to school anymore. They've got to go home and do it virtually. Okay, so no Perfect 13 for us, which is a big thing, training thing for us. These kids just have to go home, no football, and do virtual learning. No summer camps, no veer camp, no 7-on-7s. Limited strength training in the summer. They come to 2-a-days, August 14th. They tell our kids they're moving football to the spring. Okay, devastating. Devastating to us, especially our seniors, because they don't know what's going to happen. I think that was the hardest part about this year for these kids is the uncertainty of everything. September 7th, football's back on. So these kids have been told football's going to the spring. A couple weeks later, it's back on, get ready, we're starting with game 4. November 16th, we just beat Caledonia, football's off. A 3-week pause. To be honest, I didn't think it was coming back. I didn't know how they would do it. I didn't know the logistics of it behind. It's going to be December and January. How in the world are these kids going to be able to fit? December 21st, football's back on. Okay? We played the regional championship on January 8th in East Lansing. August 14th, January 8th. These kids had practiced football in December and January. No one in the history of high school football has done what these young people had to do. Nobody. They had to get tested every other day, 3 times a week if they were going to play. And they just did it. And they're going to be better sons for it, better fathers for it, better husbands for it, because they've been hit with adversity that's never happened in the history of this game. It's never happened in the history of, high school athletics. And they just, the emotional roller coaster that these young men had to endure was incredible. Incredible. And then on top of that, they had to play football games. Well, let me tell you what they did. This is their resume for this season. They beat the number 1 team in Division III, Muskegon. They beat the number 8 team in Division III, MLK. They beat the number 2 team in Division II, East Lansing. They beat the number 10 team, Division II, Traverse City Central. They did that being ranked number 1 all year with a bullseye on their back and being the defendant to Division II state championship. Obviously, they beat a great De La Salle team. They beat 2 teams that made it to the semifinals of Division III. So they beat, their resume, they beat 2 teams that almost both made it to Ford Field. Without a doubt, it's the greatest class in the history of this sport at Warner Shores. They're 12-0, the first undefeated team in the history of the school. They've won 18 games in a row since their last loss was the 53-0 game here, last year to Muskegon. After that, they've won every single game. They're back-to-back state champions. But most importantly, I think this group will have a bond like no other of the journey that they've been through. And I am so fortunate to be able to be part of it. I'm so fortunate and thankful that I see the power in young people. It's just incredible. Bar none, regardless of divisions, this is the best team in the state of Michigan this year. Give them a round of applause.
First, I'd like to thank everybody for their support through this crazy pandemic year. And I know everybody didn't get to come to the game like they wanted to, but Sailor Nation made it possible for people to come watch the games from their home and from their couch and from their living room. So, and then Ms. Mustard and Mr. Conrad and Mr. O'Brien giving us anything we need, just being behind us this whole year and giving us any of the buses we needed, the cold gear that we needed, pretty much anything that we needed to get us through these cold playoff games. So thank you, Sailor Nation.
So how much did this season mean to you, with everything? So how much did this season mean to you, with everything, all the ups and downs, getting to finish it off with the state title?
Oh yeah, it means a lot, especially my senior year. In the class, we went through a lot to get to this point, and the whole team did, and it feels good to know that our hard work paid off.
So your dad's been the offensive line coach for the last couple of years. Has it been special getting to work with him?
Yeah, it's special. We have a pretty close bond when it comes to football, and we bounce ideas off each other, how to block things, and we're pretty close.
Let's talk about how great the community's been.
Yeah, it's great. The community's definitely behind us, and they will be for years on. One thing that stands out to me about the community is once our semifinal game was here, I just went out on the field, and there was a lot of people out there. I just took a video because it was so amazing, all the support.
So something that sticks out to me is I think De La Salle's first drive, you got that sack and you were running all over the field.
Yeah.
How did it feel to start the game out?
Yeah, it got me fired up. As you could tell, it's just a great feeling to know you did something great for your team and you helped them win.
So how does it feel, just to have this event, despite everything going on with COVID?
Well, one, we're very fortunate. We got an incredible boss, Mama B, Jennifer Buster, who just finds a way to get things done. And, it's great closure for these kids, win or lose. We've had this and we've lost twice. So but it's great closure, and it's a small celebration for these kids' accomplishments, and so I'm so glad that Jennifer Buster found a way to make it happen.
So you talked about in your speech, ways that the community stepped up. Just discuss that a little more.
Yeah, I said it earlier. I've got the best job in the world. There's just so much support of people that want to impact young people in the right way, and so to see that, that Traverse City Central semifinal, the way the community came out again, because they've done it before, to get that snow off the field, so these kids could have an opportunity to host probably the only semifinal game they'll ever play at Mona Shores, and I'm glad our kids got to see that too, because it's very inspiring.
If I told you 10 years ago when you took this job that in 10 years you'd have 2 state championships here, would you believe me, or did you know that's where you were?
Yeah, I mean, you always have that dream, and you strive and you work hard to try to do it. Would I have bet money on it? Probably not. I just very fortunate to be surrounded by incredible people and kids that just have a work ethic unmatched. So I'm the luckiest job in the world to be able to coach here at my alma mater and to be a part of 2 state championships, and all the great kids that I've been able to coach has been pretty incredible.